Tottenham Hotspur are on the brink of a relegation. 27 games played following that 4-1 defeat against their North London rivals Arsenal, which they lost 4-1 on the reverse fixture earlier on in the season. Their new interim manager, Mr. Tudor, came in here with two jobs. One was to beat Arsenal in his first game of the season. He failed to do that, and he failed to do that embarrassing. A 4-1 win for Arsenal over Tottenham, and now his next goal, his main goal, is to stay alive and to not get relegated. At this point in time, they are currently sitting with 11 games left to go in the league. They are safe by only 4 points, which is absolutely insane for them being classified as a top 6 side. Here today, we are going to make sure they don't get relegated and then rebuild them up into a Premier League winning club and a Champions League winning club. So let's get into it. Now, those 11 games that they have left are not going to be the easiest. In fact, any game for them at the moment are not going to be easy with the situation currently going on at the club. They have teams like Fulham, who's the next game up. They have Liverpool, Nottingham Forest, Sunderland, Brighton. They do play against Wolves. They do. And then they have another hard game against Villa. They have a hard game in what could be a relegation scrap against Leeds United. They have Chelsea, and then they end the season at home against Everton. Now, a massive problem for this Tottenham squad is not the fact that they are also just completely horrible, because that's truly what they are. It's the fact that they have many injuries. Udogie is out for injury, but he is slowly coming back. He's about to be back now for this club. Ben Davies is out for a couple while. Romero is now suspended for the next Premier League game. We have Bentancur, who's hurt for 3 weeks. We have a lot of players hurt. James Maddison, he tore his ACL at the very beginning of the season. He won't be here for the rest of the season. Kulusevski, a knee injury. He'll be back in about 2 months' time. Lucas Bergvall, their most recent kind of youngster that they brought into this team, he will be back in 3 months, but he's been out for quite a while for that Tottenham squad. And so, yeah, they have just been riddled with injuries, including also Mohamed Kudus, who they just brought in from West Ham at the beginning of this season. He will be coming back at the end of this month. They are doing horribly in the terms of injuries. Now, despite them being in a relegation fight, they are obviously still in the Champions League. Well, because they did good in the Champions League. They obviously got in the Champions League. They finished 16th in the league, I believe, last season. But they obviously ended up winning the Europa League over Manchester United, and which obviously got them up into the Champions League. They finished 4th in the Champions League, so they actually did quite well in the league phase. And now, in real life, by the time you're watching this, you will actually more than likely know who they have in the round of 16. But for me right now, I'm recording this on Tuesday the 24th. This probably won't come out to the 2nd of March here. They get Tottenham. They get PSG in the Champions League round 16. So if we can somehow make a run in the Champions League while getting relegated, that'd be absolutely hysterical. So what we're going to do is just slowly sim past the season and make sure these guys don't get relegated. And so at the moment, this is kind of the best team that you can put together. Vicario in net, Spence at right back, Romero and Van de Ven as your 2 center backs. We have to keep Van de Ven. Van de Ven is probably the only good player in this team in real life. On paper on this game, no, but in real life, yes. Udogie at left back, Paulina Aloni from Bayern Munich, Conor Gallagher, they just bought him into January. Odebert, Xavi Simons, he is obviously good on paper and good on the game. Well, he's decent on paper, but he's very good on this game, very young prospect. And so, yeah, he's probably the best player in terms of potential and just overall just growability in this game. Matthias Tell, Richarlison, and then obviously teams like Colomwani. And we're actually going to put Colomwani as your starting striker because, well, if you're going to have a PSG loanee, you might as well play him PSG loanee because it's a PSG loanee and it's better than your club entirely. And the winless kind of theme of 2026, have not won a game in the Premier League in the calendar year of 2026 yet. That continues as they draw to Fulham in a 1-1 fashion with Van de Ven scoring the only goal for us. Crystal Palace is up next, and Tottenham get their first win of the year. Spence and Matthias Tell score as they pick up a 2-1 win over Crystal Palace. Champions League against PSG. I did not expect this to happen. I fully expected this to sim up and lose 4-1. But they win the first leg 2-1. Ousmane Dembele is the only one to score. Matthias Tell, and then Loni, who probably can't play against PSG in real life, scores the winning goal against his parent club. Dortmund beat Barcelona 4-1. Okay, it makes sense because this whole thing is weird then. Well then. Now here's one of the big games here against Liverpool, and as expected, Liverpool handled business. Frimpong, BACKKK, and Mohamed Salah on the score sheet, while Matthias Tell keeps on scoring. And he had a chance to equalize there in the 71st minute, but he did end up losing that West Ham draw to Man City. That will help out Arsenal trying to win the league title again as well. Hopefully I see that in real life, for the love of God. Second leg here against PSG, and PSG come back at the away fixture for them and score in the second half. Kvaratskhelia and Dembele. A 2-0 win means a 3-2 win on aggregate for Paris Saint-Germain, and our Champions League run comes to a very expected end here in the round of 16. With 8 games left to go, we currently have a 7-point gap at the bottom of the table here. A 12-point gap if you want to include Burnley. So a win here will put us in a very favorable position to stay alive in the Premier League. But it is against Nottingham Forest, and anything could happen. But we do win. Kolo Muani and Matthias Tell with a brace as we win 3-1 over Nottingham Forest. And that will put us a massive advantage of being able to stay alive in the Premier League. And to be honest, with a 10-point gap between us and 18th place West Ham, I would almost guarantee that we are safe from relegation. So we are just going to sim to the end of the season. And, well, if we get relegated, we get relegated at the end of the day. Then that would be a massive bottle there. So let's just go ahead and sim to the end of the season. And following multiple draws there against Everton, Chelsea, Villa, and even Brighton there with a couple wins, we go on a little streak here. We finished 12th in the table, so not even close to a relegation scrap. In fact, we finished 20 points above the relegation zone. So Tottenham, handle business, and let's get into the next season. Now, I'm just going to assume that these goals are all from when I jumped in at the point of the season. Maybe not, though, because a lot of these guys have 5 goals, which is kind of weird. But Matthias Tell had 12 goals, so he ended up being the club's top goal scorer, where Charleston had 8 goals. What I did not realize is they have a bunch of players on loan, or out on loan. That was insane. I just seen that. What I will say is we're going to lose Paulina here, and I should probably go through contracts and stuff, keep everyone here, sell them, and move on. So obviously at the start of Season 2, where we try to turn this top 6 club, or a Big 6 club, into a Big 6 club. The first signing we bring in is going to be Sekou Garashi. He's going to join from Dortmund for $52 million. He's going to be our new number 1 striker for at least a little bit, as Matthias Tell will develop. We might even send out Matthias Tell on loan to help develop as well. And Sekou Garashi, welcome into Tottenham. He comes in before we do our summer clear out, and boy, are we about to clear this club out a lot. And Felix Nemecha is also going to join the club from Dortmund as well. So we go shopping in Germany at Borussia Dortmund. We bring in 2 of their key players to hopefully help out this team as well. $60.9 million as he joins the club. Our transfer budget is pretty much all but gone, and the summer clearout has to begin now. And it will begin now. But Felix Nemecha is going to be a key part for this team in this midfield. Welcome into Tottenham Hotspur. And the first sale is this man, Richarlison, out from the club. He's off to Hoffenheim for $15 million. Now, we had to spend extra on this guy because he is at our most rival club of Arsenal. But Noni Madueke is going to join this squad here to be our main right mid. Him and Kudus are going to fight for that position. But for the moment, it's going to go to Madueke. We overpay. We pay $55 million instead of what they were, the thing they thought was 41 to 50. We paid 55. And to be honest, if you're going to pay for a big player, or not a big player, but a player from a rival club, you're going to have to pay extra. And chances are you probably won't be playing this at all. But Madueke joins Tottenham. Welcome in. Now, with the prospects of Vicario leaving, and of course, it kind of stems off the back end of the result of if they get relegated this season or not. That kind of goes up in the probability for a lot of this club leaving their team. We went ahead and bring in Sunderland goalkeeper Roofs. He comes into the squad. It's a straight swap deal between Roofs and Vicario. So Roofs is now your #1 goalkeeper. Welcome into Tottenham, and that's probably our last signing of this summer window. And so this is your team at the moment. We have Roofs, Spence, Romero, Van de Ven, Udoji, Nemecha and Gallagher as your CDMs, Madueke, Simmons, and Tell as your front three, alongside Garashi, obviously, at striker. Now, obviously, you're like, oh, where is Odebert? Where's all the other guys? A couple of these guys we loaned out. Odebert, he's on loan to Crystal Palace, to Juventus for the season. We'll see him grow, hopefully. Will Linkshear's on loan. Taki is on loan. And then Archie Gray is also on loan as well, as we like to get him some game time. Let's see what these boys can do and hopefully get into the top 4. Now, 19 games throughout this first full season. The boys sit in 8th here, 27 points. We are 10 points off the top 4, so a lot of groundwork left to do there. What I do know is that we are playing Arsenal in the FA Cup round 3, so North London Derby to kick off the season, and now North London Derby to keep on going on. And you can see here we still have a buttload of work to do here. Split even with wins and losses, 16 each, and then 6 draws in the middle. 17 points off the top 4. That is insane. Man City run away with the league, and yeah, on to next season. And well, before that, Gallagher was our top goal scorer with 11 goals. That's how you know it's not a good season at all. Garashi had 11. Madueke had 7. Some of our loanees, did they grow? Odebert grew +3. Linkshear +3. Gray +3. Mikey Moore +2. So yeah, we'll have a couple players here. And it might be time for some youth academy players to come into the squad as well. Let's get into season 3 and let's keep on going on. And we kick off this 3rd season by bringing in a load of free agents. I said it was a youth academy type of thing, and we're at that point very early. Nolan Blondo, he comes in as an 80 overall striker. Mr. Angelo Neri comes in as a 74 overall left back. Pedro Henrique Lenz joins as a 72 overall center mid. Now, a lot of these guys might not get game time at all. They might not even see the face of the field, but they're here just to be here. Barani comes in as a 72 overall center back. Diongos comes in as a 77 rated center back. He actually has potential. And then Hassini comes in as an 81 overall right mid or right wing. Welcome to the squad. We do have 134 million to spend, and in all honesty, on paper, the team is actually not that bad. It's just not getting results, which is kind of the crazy part. And I think an improvement in goal could be Conor Gallagher. An improvement could bring in Romero. Improvement could be on maybe a better left back, maybe a better goalkeeper, maybe a better left mid. Who knows? And Onana is coming into the squad for Aston Villa. Welcome in to the club. 41.4 million for Onana. He's going to join Nemecha in that midfield. And well, we broke the bank by spending on 2 players here of obviously Onana, but now this guy, another center back, he's going to come into the club. Nobody wanted swap deals with the players I was willing to swap. I was trying to swap Conor Gallagher, even James Madison for Onana. They didn't want that. They wanted 80 million, and we got it down to 60. These guys wanted 70 million from him. They didn't want Romero. They didn't even want Van de Ven. I was willing to risk it for Van de Ven. They didn't want him at all. Vivian is going to come into the squad from Athletic Club, I believe, Athletic Bilbao. He's going to come in for 71 million. Welcome in to the club, Mr. Daniel Vivian. We say goodbye to Kuleveshki. He's off to Bournemouth for 28.3 mil. We might be 22 points off of Manchester City, but we sit top 3 in the league. We are also 11 points off of Arsenal, who sit second. There is a massive point gap between us, Arsenal, and Man City. Obviously, Man City only dropping 2 points this entirety of the season. 18 wins, 1 draw, 0 losses. Arsenal obviously are doing good as well. Tottenham are 11 points in. We have 6 losses. We need to start turning those losses into draws or even better wins there as well. We only have a 1 point gap between us and 5th place, a 2 point gap between us, and even all the way down to 7th place, and a 4 point gap between us and West Ham. So it's very tight in this top 4 race, but at the moment we sit 3rd in the league. I'm gonna do some contracts and I'll see y'all at the end of the season. And they hang on and finish in 3rd. And Man City, to be fair, nearly bottled the league. They were 10 points above Arsenal. They finished 6 points clear there as well. So to be fair, I'd say bottled it. They just started losing a couple games and drawing a lot more, but they still won 28. We've won 25, drawing 6, losing 7. Positive goal difference of 24, 81 points. The boys got it done, and we're back into Champions League football. And top goal scorer, Sehu Garashi, 32 years of age now. I don't know how much more we can get out of him, but 30 goals out of him is great. Xavi Simons stepping up finally. Conor Gallagher had 15 goals as well. Not quite sure why he's playing, but he is. Nemecha, 11 goals. Onana had 4 goals. Archie Gray still on loan at Crystal Palace. And Hassini had 3 goals as well. Actually, where is Madueke? Madueke only played 14 games. Hassini played 33, so I guess Hansini is playing over Madueke because he's technically right mid and not right winger. It is what it is. At the end of the day, job is getting done and done's getting job. That didn't make sense. We start the season off by bringing in an overpowered center back. Brian Koenig joins the squad, 87 overall. Welcome into the club. Obviously, more than likely, Virgil van Dijk's regen. We also bring in Piero Hincapié. He comes in from Bayer Leverkusen. He did not make his loan deal permanent with Arsenal from that first season, and he spent the last seasons at Bayer Leverkusen. He's going to come in and be our left back. He is a natural center back on this game, but he will be our number 1 left back, replacing Udogie and Jed Spence. So welcome into squad, Hincapié. We go ahead and offer them Romero. So Romero is now over to Bayer Leverkusen, plus 40-odd million in cash, and we have our new number 1 left back. And our Champions League opponents are as follows. Italian side, Roma. French side, Nice. Slavia Praha. Villarreal. Bayern Munich. PAOK. And then we end it off against Borussia Dortmund and PSG. I will see y'all at the end of January, where hopefully we are top of the table and top of the league face. And at the end of January, things might not be going to plan here a little bit. As far as winning the league, things are not going to plan. With 13 points off of Man City, they're doing Man City things again. We are only 3 points off the top 4. Crystal Palace is in 4th. That is interesting to know. In the Champions League, we are in the playoffs, so we do finish in a playoff position. So it's an early extra fixtures for us as we are taking on RB Leipzig in the Champions League playoffs. So that will be interesting. Let's see if we can advance past these guys and see if we can beat Man City here on the actual day. Can we beat the top table of Manchester City? Probably not. Yep, 3-0 loss. First leg here against RB Leipzig. It's a 3-1 loss, and we could be out of the Champions League. We need a big second leg here against RB Leipzig, and it's more than likely not going to happen. It doesn't happen. 4-2 loss on aggregate. We are out of the Champions League. And the boys march on after that loss against Leipzig. They march all the way up into the top 2. We did lose out on the league by 13 points, but the fact that we got top 2 is insane. That means we won an insane streak. Bournemouth, Villa, we win there. We lose to Chelsea. We win all 4. Yeah, we win all 4 there. We only had 2 games in March because no Champions League and no FA Cup and international break. That's insane. We win those 2, and then we won against Newcastle and Southampton. So yeah, we actually didn't lose until Chelsea. I mean, we didn't have that many games left after that, but the only loss there was Chelsea. We didn't even draw a game. We just won out for the rest of the season. The boys put in the work and the miracle. I thought I was about to say that they were not even in top 4, top 5. It was looking like one of those seasons. And it's another season where Conor Gallagher is your top goal scorer. Blondu has taken over the starting spot over Gadashi, so Gadashi is done at this club. Conor Gallagher is being sold next season because I don't know why he's scoring so many goals. On to season 5, 6? Don't know what season it is. Hopefully the last, in all honesty. We go ahead and bring in Luka Modric's pre-gen, regen. Anton Simovic comes in for Juventus, plus Wilson Odobert is gone from the club, plus 41 million. There's a reason why Odobert is gone. We are going to bring in a new left winger. We're more likely going to bring in a new right midfielder as well. Conor Gallagher, they did not want him, so we're either going to sell him or release him by the end of the transfer window. We make a massive signing here. We get rid of the free agent right midfielder Mancini that we bought in, or Hansini, whatever his name was. We get rid of him, and now we bring on Giuliano Simeone. He comes into the squad. He's going to be our new #1 right midfielder. We actually used him in a swap deal, plus 35 million in cash value, and we have our new right mid. So out with a pre-generated player, in with a real-life player, and a good one as well. Simeone comes into the squad. Welcome into Tottenham. Now we replace one pre-generated player in the starting lineup with another one. We have a new right back. Pedro Porro, your time is over. And Molina, your time is now. Welcome into the squad. We say goodbye to Udoji. He is gone out of the club for 22 million. And we have our brand new left midfielder, Mr. Nico Williams, joins the squad, not from Athletic Bilbao, where he's currently at in real life, but this time from Chelsea in the game. So we weaken a Premier League opponent while strengthening our team. I really like our team now. It is a great team. Welcome in, Mr. Nico Williams. And so at the moment, this is how your team looks like lining up for season number 5, I believe, maybe season 6. Roofs in net, Molina, Koenig, and Vivian, and as well as Hincape as your back four. Nemecha and Onana still lead that line in center defensive mid. But joined now from Xavi Simons is Williams and Simeone, and Belando as your sole striker. That is your starting lineup. It is a great starting lineup. I'm going to make sure Conor Gallagher gets sold. If not, I will release him, and then we'll see y'all when we see our Champions League opponents, and then I'll see you at the end of January as well. Sekou Garashi's services here is obviously over. He is off to Manchester City now for 24.5 million. Goodbye to you. Mohamed Kudus. We haven't seen much of him. In fact, we really haven't seen him at all. He was injured when we first started, and he was replaced by Madueke as there, and then Mancini. So he's off to Arsenal. We brought in Madueke. They could get Mohamed Kudus. I would take that in real life. I can't lie. I really would. Would I? No. Actually, fuck no. Never mind. Ignore me there. I think that's all the transfer business we are going to do, except we still have to sell Conor Gallagher, so not quite yet. Pedro Porro has been sold to Bologna for 37.5 million. And there it is. Conor Gallagher has been sold. He will no longer be our top goal scorer. 35 million over to Napoli, and hopefully he won't take anyone else's playing time. Let's see what we have in the Champions League. And so in the Champions League, we kick it off against Bayern Munich. We have teams like AEK Athens. We have PSV, Celta Vigo. We have Dender in the Champions League as well, Strasbourg. And then in January, we ended off against Benfica and Borussia Dortmund. I will see y'all here on February 1st, where hopefully we're in the top 8 and in the title race. And while looking at this, we don't have a February matchup in the Champions League, so it must have went well. And I did see 2 cups there, so we're in the semifinals of the Carabao Cup, it looked like at least. We sit 9th in the league, though. We are 10 points off the top 4. Bournemouth is in the top 4. That's what these academy players get to you. They get these random teams being so good. Sounds like World War III outside my house right now. Colchester are in the next round of the FA Cup. In the Carabao Cup, we are taking on Newcastle, but we lost the first leg 3-0, so that is over and done with pretty much. And then Champions League, we're not in the playoffs, which means we finish in the top 8, and we actually finished 2nd, undefeated in the Champions League. So I will see y'all at the beginning of March when we have the round of 16 matchup, and hopefully we can string some results together in the league to get top 4. And in the Champions League, we get Benfica. I want to see who the other round of 16 matchups are here before we get into it. Arsenal versus Marseille, Nottingham Forest versus Real Madrid. We're taking on Benfica. Man City, Barcelona, PSG, Bayern Munich, and Juventus versus AC Milan, and then Inter versus Atletico, and closing out with AS Monaco versus Frankfurt. Let's see if we can beat them and move on to the quarterfinals of the Champions League. First leg here against Benfica in the Champions League. They pick up man of the match, which is not good. A 1-1 draw. We lose to Burnley as well, so I don't think the league is going as good as we hoped. And the second leg here against Benfica. Hopefully we come out on top. It's a 2-1 win on the day, a 3-2 win on aggregate, and we are into the next round of the Carabao Cup of the Champions League. We're 11th in the Premier League. If we don't win the Champions League, this rebuild is over. And so the round of 16 matchups went like this. Arsenal moved on, beating Marseille 3-1. Real Madrid not even conceding a single goal in 180 minutes and winning the first leg 4-0. We move on past Benfica. Man City scraped by Barcelona. PSG scraped by Bayern Munich. A 1-0 win in the first leg is enough for AC Milan to move past Juventus. Atletico Madrid and Inter had some excitement to it. That went all the way to a penalty shootout with Atletico Madrid won, and then Frankfurt took care of business. So a very boring round of 16. The only interesting game there, realistically, was Atletico versus Inter Milan, and maybe this one and this one as well. Quarterfinals, we are taking on Manchester City. Frankfurt are taking on Atletico Madrid. PSG are taking on AC Milan, and Arsenal are taking on Real Madrid. Now in the Premier League, we sit 11th in the league on 40 points. We are 12 points off the top four. Man City are not winning the league at the moment. They are 8 points behind the league leaders, Arsenal. We're going to sim via the calendar again in the first leg here, away from home. I expect our run to come to an end possibly here, but a 2-1 win on the first leg gives us that advantage going back down to London for the second leg here. We're taking on Man City in the league, so 3 Man City games in a row. They batter us in the league. They are 4-2. Can we beat them in the Champions League second leg, though? Or Man City get their revenge? No. We reverse the fixture, and we take them down in the Champions League. Back-to-back 2-1 wins there. You see there we have Atletico Madrid in the semifinals there. We're also in the semifinals of the FA Cup. And so who's in the other semifinals? It's Arsenal versus AC Milan, which means obviously Atletico took down Frankfurt, AC Milan took down PSG, and Arsenal took down Real Madrid, just like they did in real life last year IRL in the quarterfinals of the Champions League, but then they obviously got knocked out in the semifinals to PSG. We're going to sim via the calendar. Again, there you can see we also beat Coventry City 1-0 in the FA Cup, so another cup final for us in that Chelsea game there. So domestically, cup-wise, we did well. Semifinals of the Carabao Cup, final of the FA Cup, a 3-2 loss here against Atletico Madrid in the first leg here. Simeone playing against his former club, IRL. Obviously, we lose to Brentford, so it's do or die here. And so this all relies on this result here against Tottenham, against Atletico Madrid, I should say. 4-3 win. That means a 2-0 win? Yes. A 2-0 win on the second leg at home. And we are into the Champions League final. How the hell is this club in the Champions League final when we are sitting, what, 12th in the league? It seems like, yeah, 12th in the league. We are so bad this season. We went from losing 6 to 7 games to now back to losing over half of our games. That is diabolical. But into the Champions League final against either Arsenal or whoever else it was AC Milan. And it is AC Milan. So let's go into that. The Champions League final. Tottenham, who sit 12th in the league, versus AC Milan. Interesting. And we continue to lose in the Premier League. So here's a quick look of how they might line up. And now we obviously don't know the ratings here, but Teriasino, Theo, Athakame, Ibanez, Estupinian, Yashari, Richie, Nkunku, Fruk, Doku, and Mbai. So honestly, very winnable with our squad unless their teams are very high overall. Let's see what these boys can do at the Benfica Stadium, and let's see if they can come out on top. And so let's actually see the actual lineup, because I just see my Nan was starting for them. So Jeremy Doku, Santiago Jimenez, Ethan Waneri, Christian Nkunku, Richie Yashade, Theo Hernandez is back at AC Milan, Malik Thiaw, Roger Ibanez, Athakame, Mike Mainan, and that is that. They have Yan Diamande, who is a striker, 88 overall, on the bench as well. So some decent options on the bench, a decent team, and hopefully Tottenham can come out on top and pick up all 3 points, pick up the trophy. Nico Williams into Xavi Simons, straight to Mike Mainan. Williams Jr., Nemecha in towards Onana, Onana into Xavi, and Xavi Simons out wide for Williams, and Williams Jr. now down the left-hand side is going to cut in. Williams Jr., Xavi Simons, Blondo, Williams Jr., Xavi Simons, he loses it. Neri into Richie, Richie into Jimenez, Jimenez back to Richie, Richie top of the box, not getting closed down, out wide to Jeremy Doku for whatever reason, crosses blocked out from Molina in the first corner of the day. Williams Jr., Blondo, cross comes in, it's headed away by Ibanez. And so the first 45 ends 0-0 for each side, and we go into second 45 with all to play for. Ethan Winery has so much space down this right-hand side. Into the box. Jimenez, Koning blocked the shot. Henkape looks to clear it. Williams Jr. up the field further. Read it well. Nemecha. Williams Jr. Belandu. Corner. Simmons, handball, we play on Onana, Simeone, Nemecha, Felix Nemecha, Williams Jr. now, back to Xavi, Xavi into Onana, and Onana now, what can he do with it? He gets him behind, and Onana saved by Mainan and out for a corner. Corner, Xavi Simons, Koning, he heads it down, back in for Xavi Simons, back post now, the keeper collects it. And it's looking like a 0-0 draw after the first 90, and extra time is on the cards unless they can win it here, which they will not. So extra time is up 30 minutes before a penalty shootout. Nemecha out wide to Williams Jr. It's a heavy first touch in Williams Jr. now. Down the left-hand side, cross comes in. Matthias Tell is on the field now as well. We subbed him on Felix Nemecha into Matthias Tell. Into Onana, Tell, Nemecha, intercepted pass out wide to Williams Jr. Here comes Jeremy Doku now. Jeremy Doku, he's in the box. He finds a yellow shirt. Xavi Simons, Onana, ay. And it's a blunder of an attack for the end of the first half, but it'll still play on. Molina, Matthias Tell, what is he going to do? The referee's just going to blow his whistle any second here. Williams Jr. now. Onana's making a run. We don't find him as Xavi Simons now. Oh, now we look for Onana when he's offside. Simeone, second ball, maybe no. Third ball, Onana. He does win it, but down to AC Milan player. And it's looking more and more likely we're going to a penalty shootout here as Onana goes down on the ground injured. Jimenez, Franck, Yandio, intercepted by Koning. Nemecha, Williams Jr., Xavi Simons, Matthias Tell, losing the ball. Cross comes in, it could go in, Koning heads it down, Henkape pushes it forward, referee blows his whistle, and a penalty shootout after a 0-0, 120 minutes of game time. And so AC Milan is up first here. It is Santiago Jimenez up first, saved by Roofs. Advantage Tottenham, especially if Matthias Tell can put this one away. He does, bottom left. Theo Hernandez, we're deep, but it's saved. Can I go? I'm trying to go back to the other camera angle. We're here with Williams Jr. up first, down the middle, 2-1. I'm trying to find the camera angle I was just on, to be completely honest. I mean, that's a good angle, that's a good angle. That's a bad angle. The penalty comes in. It's scored. I just want to go back to default. There we go. Is this default? I don't know what it is. It's what we're staying with now. Vivian Mainan saves it. Yashade now to take the advantage for AC Milan. It's saved by Roofs. Advantage back for Tottenham. Xavi Simons up next. Can he put the ball away and put us one step closer? Yes, he can. Bottom right. Keeper kind of stands still, but then goes top left a little bit. Yan Diomande, a must score for AC Milan to continue this penalty shootout. If not, Tottenham are your Champions League winners. Yan Diomande puts his to bed.
Well, it's quite straightforward. Score.
It is Simeone, the newest signing of this club. He puts his bottom left, and Tottenham are your Champions League winners. We might have finished in the bottom half of the Premier League, but we will win the Champions League here today. Here in Portugal, the Tottenham Hotspur. Miracles can happen. We've seen it last year when they won the Europa League. This is a bigger miracle now that them winning the Champions League here. And so Vivian will lift that Champions League trophy. Tottenham Hotspur are the champions of Europe. That'll be the end of this rebuild. If you did enjoy it, leave a like and subscribe. Hopefully, I'm hoping for every single March, for every single Monday, Wednesday, Friday of March, there is a video. Every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, there is a short, hopefully, every single day on this channel. I have two other channels, Forbes Gaming and Forbes Plays. They'll be both linked in the description for career mode playthrough series. But until then, leave a like, subscribe, and peace out.